Yep, it's Friday. That means it's LOL Fridays. I always bring you the hottest, the freshest, the dopest, the funniest comedians ever here on LOL Fridays. And today is no different. I'm telling you, it's no different. Ladies and gentlemen, in the house with me, one of my favorites. I've watched this lady grow. I've watched her get on stage and kill it each and every time she does. Put your hands together for my girl, Miss Lourdes. Hey, Lourdes is here. Hell
How's
yeah.
it going?
No,
How are you?
It's good. I'm great. I'm glad you came. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited. This is
Okay.
fun.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you came too. And you know what? I was so excited that you were here that I forgot to go live on my Instagram, so I have to do that
Okay.
while we're talking. So where are you from originally?
So originally born in Tijuana.
Tijuana?
So,
Okay.
Yeah, so
All
I'm
right.
from Mexico, San
Nice.
Diego. I'm a border girl.
Nice.
And I've been, I'm also American, okay, so don't.
Right.
I'm here legally. I'm here
Right,
legally.
right, right.
It doesn't look like it. I mean, it might not sound like it, but I am.
All right, well that's cool, man. So you're here legal.
I'm here legally.
Legally, yeah. Now I know some people who aren't though. I have met people who
Right,
aren't,
right,
and it was a
right.
trip when I first met them. I was like, what? For real? That's crazy. But hey, it happens. All right, so you're here legally.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. Stand-up comedy. Why?
Yes.
It's a hard job. Why are you doing it?
It is a hard job. In fact, I was just commenting and talking about that on my way over here. I'm like, it is not easy at all.
Hell no, it's not.
And it's even harder when you have a full-time job and
Right.
just doing something else on the side because
Right.
this requires so much love, so much attention.
Mm-hmm,
Why? Because I absolutely love it. I have to tell you that comedy makes me feel alive. It makes me feel like whatever it is that I go through on the daily, I could just forget all about that on stage for
Right.
5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes even
Mhm.
when we're performing. It just makes like everything is gonna be okay.
Hell yeah, man. Sometimes though, I have to say sometimes because I gotta qualify that because sometimes you're up there and you're like everything's going to shit and my life sucks. I'm gonna go shoot myself after this.
After
Sometimes.
the show, initially after
Yeah.
yes, that was hard. So when I first started out, it was hard because I was incredibly self-conscious. Not that I'm not self-conscious still, because I am. I'm really self-conscious.
Right.
But I in the beginning, if I didn't get a laugh,
Mhm.
it was hard for me to get over that part. Like I didn't do well. Like I took it incredibly personal. Like
Right.
I needed to go home and just forget about everything and go ahead and bury myself in the backyard. That's exactly what I want to do.
Yeah, they hate me. They don't like me. What am I doing? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, we've been on a couple of shows together.
Yes.
And like every time we're on a show, we always have so much fun. And the
Yes.
shows are always so dope.
Yes.
And I really like that. So that's a good thing. I can't wait to perform with you again in the
Yes.
future.
Thank
That's going to
you.
be nice. Now,
Yes.
let me ask you this question. What defines your comedy, your stand-up style?
So my stand-up style, I think it's very personal. It's just things that happen to me in my life or things that I see as interesting. I try to bring my own brand of, let's say, I don't know, just Lourdes, just being myself as goofy as I can be.
Uh-huh.
Honestly, I feel like I can't. Sometimes I'm given what I do for work, and then what I being the first one in my family as a eldest, and the eldest, I always have to be so serious about everything, and
Right.
so I try to be just myself as much as possible on stage. So it's like a really personal family, talk about my own experiences.
Mhm,
For
mhm.
example, right now I'm really defining and really moving into the space of talking about being 50. Like I turned 50 last year. And
That's
I'll-
amazing,
I'll be
man. That's
51.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm
That's
51.
beautiful.
I'll be 51 this year. So
Wow.
that experience, what that's like to be 50, to go from once upon a time being 25 to now being a woman of age.
Of a certain
Of
age.
a certain age.
Yes.
But still in my head feeling young,
Mhm.
but my body and
Mhm.
my body not responding in the way that it used to.
Hell no, it
It's
doesn't.
It's kind of funny.
It is funny.
I think it's funny.
At first it's tragic and you get sad
Yes.
and you're like, damn, this sucks. But then it's like when your knee goes out and you didn't realize it was
Yeah.
gonna go out. It's
Yeah.
funny sometimes.
Yeah, it is. Like, for example, too, I decided I was let myself go gray, so
Okay.
I'm not coloring my hair anymore. I'm
All
going
right.
gray. This is on purpose. It's just on purpose.
Okay.
And so, because I hate the feeling of like the first sprouts of gray coming out and completely obliterating that
yeah.
whole, like, I don't know, made up feeling of youth.
Yep.
And the reminder that, no, bitch, you're old, basically.
I hate that reminder too. I got the grays going myself.
Every 4 weeks, that's a reminder would come in. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm okay being gray.
Right.
We'll see. I'm going to rock this gray, see what happens.
Right. I mean, you know what? A lot of people are doing that.
Yeah.
And it's wild. I mean, I didn't think that I would, and I probably will eventually before my hair falls all out from bleaching it.
Yeah.
But no, gray is in actually.
Gray
It is. I was talking to my mom about that. She said, "Yeah, gray is in. You need to switch up." I don't have that many grays yet, but I will eventually.
Yeah.
Has anybody commented on your grays? Any of your fans?
Nobody. I did have one young woman say, "Hey, why did you go? You look like a 65-year-old overnight."
Oh, shit.
I thought that was how did that happen? Other than that, no one's really noticed because I'm trying to do a blending thing so it doesn't come out all
gradual.
So it's kind of gradual.
Okay.
But we'll see. Like, you know, we're doing this together.
Right.
Doing this together.
Right.
Everyone's out kind of trying it out, and we'll see. I'm either gonna look 10 years younger or 10 years older. So
All right, so if you're just joining us, man, this is LOL Fridays on hyperadio.com. It's your big dog, Defunct the Legend, and of course, that is Lourdes Ayon sitting next to me. And make sure you subscribe and like to that YouTube right there. And what's up to everybody on the socials? How y'all doing? Make sure you tune in to us each and every time you see us. All right, so we're going to keep this thing moving and groving. How about your favorite comedians? Now, I know there's local and then there's national and then there's super famous. So let's go ahead and do one super famous, one national, and one local. Favorite comedian. Go.
Okay, super famous. I'm gonna have to say, gosh. The first one that came to my mind was Eddie Murphy.
Eddie, all right.
Murphy was the first one. So I have to say that when I was young, I was watching Eddie Murphy Raw with my dad. And wait, which one is it which one was the first one?
Delirious and then Raw.
Raw?
Yeah.
Delirious.
Yeah.
So the first Delirious one.
Okay. How old were you when you were watching Delirious?
I was young, and it was incredibly inappropriate.
Damn.
And I remember we were laughing. My dad was laughing, and then he said a comment. Eddie Murphy said a comment, something like, I don't know, maybe some alien pussy. He said something about alien pussy. I don't know if you remember. I should go back and watch it. Something about blah blah pussy. I laughed because I was in a momentum of laughter, and my dad looked at me and said,
"You don't have to about that."
Yeah, he said, you don't have to understand everything that he's saying.
Right. You know about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Eddie Murphy was like the first, my first introduction to stand-up comedy.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Nice, man. I think he was a lot of people's first introduction to stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
He had to be. Speaking of that, what were you saying? Okay, your dad and
you said
you're young,
you're famous,
and then famous,
right? Super famous, and then you said.
Yeah, but I had a thought and I lost it. So go ahead to the next one you got.
Which one's the next one?
That would be national, like somebody who's out there and known, but not like way up.
I think Ralph Barbosa is really good.
Okay.
I like him. I like his comedy. It's very like, I don't want to say simple because I don't want to make it sound like it's a diss, but it's very easy to understand. But it's hilarious because it's also incredibly smart. Because I've tried to follow his pattern of comedy, and it's hard. He put a lot of thought and work into making it seem so easy.
Oh, seamless. Yeah. I love those. I like watching those guys and girls who make it seem like it's just easy, like it just rolls off the tongue, you know, and they're up there just bullshitting, but they've been struggling and trying to get these bits together, but it doesn't seem like it, you know. The seamlessness is dope. Yeah, he's really good. He's very smart. I really enjoy his comedy. Okay. All right. And then how about on your local scene? And the local scene, there's a lot of folks, but I have to say, female comedians. Yeah. I really like Sydney. Snyder. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like her a lot. I think she's really funny, and I feel that she's incredibly, natural. Like I talk to her off stage, and then she's the same person on stage. Right. Now she's the one with the blonde hair, right? Yes. Yeah, I just worked with her last night. Yeah. As a matter of fact, at the Pink Martini. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was dope. You know, shout out to Marcus Mangum for putting me on that show. That show was fun. Yeah. And she headlined it, and it was dope. Yeah. It was dope. She's very natural, and again, her performance is not very far from who she is and who she you know, when you interact with her just without not performing. So I like that. That's cool, man. Yeah, because you want that genuine spirit, you know what I mean? Like if you're one way on stage and one way off, it's like, okay, are you real or are you just doing an act? You know? Right. So yeah, that's cool, man. I admire that list. That list is dope. Okay, so I was asking you that, and I had a thought, and I can't remember what it was. So we're gonna move on to the next thing, but it'll come back to me. Trust me, it will.
Sure.
It will. That's all that weed in the past. See, that's what happens when you smoke too much weed. You lose your train of thought.
I've never smoked weed, so I don't know.
You've never smoked?
No.
What?
I've never
Wait a
smoked
minute.
weed.
This is like a first. Every comedian I've had on this damn show says something about smoking weed. And you're the first one that says that you have never.
I've never smoked weed.
Congratulations.
No. Thank you. I've never smoked it, though. Don't congratulate me all the way because I did have some edibles last year.
Oh, well, see.
Because they were. So I was having a sleep crisis, like I couldn't sleep, so I was having insomnia for a long time.
Right.
So I took too many edibles.
Oh, and what happened?
4 firefighters later at my door.
4 firefighters?
I thought I was dying. I straight up thought I was dying. I had a psychedelic experience. I was hearing voices.
Oh.
I had the best sex of my life that night.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Well, see, that makes it all worth it.
No, it doesn't, because when the guys showed up, they were so angry. They were really mad at me. And so
really?
So the color of anger that I saw that night was purple. So purple is the color of anger.
Okay.
And then
I thought it was red, but purple was good too.
That's what I saw that night.
All right.
The guys were asking me, like, how much did you take? I apparently way too much.
Yeah.
And then one of the guys that was there, he said, miss, it's just, the weed nowadays, it's not like how it used to be when you and I were young.
No.
And I'm looking at him thinking, gosh, there's no way I'm as old as you are. And the guy responds to me, he says, we're the same age.
Right.
I didn't realize that I said that out loud.
Oh, shit.
I thought I was just thinking about it. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah, hell yeah. See, I brought you on here because I wanted to give you your flowers, and I wanted to pour into you because, I mean, what you're doing is excellent with your stand-up, and you're everywhere, man. You're either at open mic, or you're booked, or you're at both. What do you think is the difference between an open mic comic and a working comic?
Let me see. The difference would be confidence,
Okay.
like how more comfortable you are on stage. So as an open mic comic, for me in the beginning, it was very hard for me to feel comfortable on stage. And just feel comfortable with myself. Whatever it is that I deliver on stage, especially during an open mic. Now, if people don't laugh, I don't take that personal anymore.
Right.
I take that out. Okay, I got to work on this, and then I legit go home and I work on it.
Right.
Or dump it, or try it again, or do a different take on it.
Yeah.
Now, a working comic is once you have a set that works.
Yeah.
Right. I know with this set works. Every single place I go, it works. It gets really good laughs, and I use the same set and then build on it as I'm doing the working. You're right.
Right.
Comedy show that I'm going to, so I'm working through that. And adding taglines and kind of expanding on, let's say, if it's a good 15-minute set, where I feel that I have a good strong 15 minutes,
right,
and then just adding to it, and then all of a sudden turns into a 20-minute, strong set, and then whatever it is that I may play with, I can continue to add to during open mics, because I still do open mics.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's our playground. That's our proving ground. Most of the time, if there's a crowd, that's the part that sucks sometimes. We don't get a crowd and we can't prove whether our jokes work or not.
Right.
So, if you're watching this or listening to this, make sure you hit an open mic and come watch us, because we need your feedback, people. We need it. How long have you been doing stand-up?
So I've been doing stand-up for 2.5 years now.
That's it?
Yeah,
Man.
just 2.5.
Shit.
But I'm always gonna add this. I've been funny my whole life.
Okay.
So I've been funny my entire life.
All right.
Now, the other thing too is that I did the very, very first time I started comedy. You asked why comedy?
Yeah, why?
I used to be married, and my ex-husband and I loved comedy, and we were watching Last Comic Standing when it came on a long time ago, and I was really excited about the process and the things that the comedians were doing, and I said, hey, I think I can do this. Hey, baby, I know that I can do this. And he said, oh, baby, I think you're funny, but not funny.
But not you can't do that shit.
Yeah. And so that kind of planted a seed for me to try it. Like why not? Maybe I am.
Are you that kind of person? Like if somebody tells you can't do something, you're like, nah, hell no, I'm doing this shit.
I absolutely am. I will. If you tell me no, I'm gonna figure out a way to do it. So I did, and I took these comedy classes at Comedy Spot.
Okay.
And then I was going every Monday for 3 or 4 weeks, and then the last day you do the open mic, right? And so I told all of my friends to come see him because I was doing this and he didn't know. And so I said, come see his face when I pop up on stage.
Oh man,
And
what,
so
what
I
was his
tricked
face
him.
like? What?
Oh yeah, I tricked him, and I proceeded to do like 8 minutes of just a lot of really fun material. I'll go back to it, and I don't really like it anymore, but
Okay.
it was a lot of fun.
All right.
And so that was like 9 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
that was like 9 years ago. But I wasn't as consistent with the comedy back then as I am now.
Oh yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah, it was more sporadic, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's cool, man. That's wow. So in your long 2 years of doing stand up,
Yeah.
what has been your most crowning or proudest accomplishment so far?
What has been my most proudest accomplishment?
Yeah, so far.
So far, I sat in, not sat, I was, we don't sit, we stand. We
Yeah,
sit. I
well,
was standing, I was
sometimes
at
we
a,
sit.
yeah, I was
I
at,
know my black
I was
ass
at a
brother.
comedy, I was at a comedy show not too long ago. It was at Punchline.
Okay.
And there was a woman that laughed so hard
Right.
that I literally I stopped doing my set so I can give her a moment to continue laughing.
Wow.
And so that was, to me, it was like the most beautiful compliment ever.
Hell yeah.
Where people were really like, to watch somebody to that reaction
Yeah.
from something you said.
Yeah.
Right? It's so beautiful to just kind of see that unfold, and for me to take it in the present moment. Like, I wasn't nervous. I literally told everybody else, hold on, let's give her a moment. And that was so much fun.
And I'm sure they started laughing too.
They did, because the whole thing was really fun. That made her laugh more. But watching that joy, watching her laugh and really enjoy it was awesome. And then the other part too, now that I'm saying the story, the first time that happened though was in Fresno. I did the Fresno Comedy Rumble competition.
Okay.
And after the competition, I won that night.
Oh shit.
And that the competition, there was a couple that came over to me and said, thank you for making me laugh. I was just had 5 minutes, but they said they laughed the entire 5 minutes and said, thank you for making me laugh. You made me forget about all my troubles.
Yep.
And I was like, I was so touched, and that's when I realized, like, this is a pretty powerful way of connecting and bringing people together. And so I want to make sure that my comedy, as you asked earlier too, that my comedy, aside from just really being myself, is trying to create a space where everybody can come together and have a good time. So I try to stay away from insulting people too much. I'll do the roasting, but I don't feel super comfortable in that space because
if it's not your lane, it's not your lane.
Yeah, it's a part of just, for me, I want to share in a harmonious experience with another human being. Because that is so special when you're on stage with a particular crowd. That moment is never replicated.
No,
never
it's
again.
not. No, it's
It's
not.
just every single crowd, every single show is different.
It's always different. I like that part about comedy as well. And you never know what people are going through, man. They need these laughs.
Yeah.
You know, people's lives are fucked up sometimes, and so they come to the show to escape. When they can come and laugh like that real deep belly laugh like you gave that lady, you made her a fucking month probably. She probably had all kinds of shit going on, husband beating her, but you know, and then
I hope that wasn't the case.
You made her laugh, and she's just like, shit, the scars are gone now. You know, shit, it doesn't hurt anymore, mama. You know, so that's a good thing, though, man. That's beautiful. And being at peace in that moment, you know, and living in the moments on stage is something that it took me forever to learn. You know, because I wanted to rush and get to the next laugh. Well, sometimes you gotta let that laugh like digest. You know, like you're saying. And I mean, there's nothing better than that when you're in the moment and that happens. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. So you said you won the competition that night. I don't win those. I get in them and I lose every time. I lose. I don't know why. I don't know. I just, maybe I should quit. I don't know. I lose all the time. I'm not doing any more. Well, oh, wait, I got 3 coming up. I'm going to do those 3 and that's it. That's it. No more.
Sounds like a lot. Competitions are hard. I get in my head. So I always do well the first night, and then when like if they're 2-day competitions or whatever, I'll do well. Depending on the competition, I get in my head. Because I want to try too hard and I forget about just having a good time. Because I want to win. I get into I want to win mode. Because there's a part of me that's very competitive. So,
we all are. Yeah. By nature.
Yeah. So I try to not get in my head and just have a good time. Or because I want to win, I make the mistake of trying new material.
Oh yeah. That's a no when you're trying to win.
Giant no.
Yeah, I did that
no.
too on the last competition I was in, and I shouldn't have done it, but I did it anyway, like a dumbass.
Yep,
And,
live and learn.
Yeah, live and learn. I didn't even make 4th place. That's how bad it was. But all right, so let me ask you this:
Sure.
Have you seen or felt that it's harder to make it as a female stand-up versus a male?
That's an interesting question because I technically haven't made it.
Well, you know what I mean, like in your
yeah.
circles, like, you know, in the circles of stand-up, because we have our own cliques and crews and circles and this and that, you know, and you can be accepted or you can be rejected. But is it harder to be accepted, you know, and booked regularly as a female versus a male? In your opinion?
I would say that it's definitely harder to get into shows where there's certain types of shows.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like there's more guys out there that are taking over those shows or have more opportunity to be on those shows than women. So I'll say that for sure, yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed, man, I'm like, man, this is crazy.
Not a lot of women are
on these shows. And like, when I book a show, I always got to put 2 or 3 ladies on it because the lady and the female perspective is so important in a show.
Right.
You got to have it because the ladies come to the show, they want to see comedy, but they don't want to see a bunch of dicks up there. They want to, you know, they want to see some titties. You know, they want to get a woman's perspective, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You know, so I think it is harder for you guys to do your thing, but you got to keep doing yours because you're one of the grinders out there, man. Every time I look up, you're on a flyer somewhere. I'm like, damn, man, how many flyers have you been on? So what are you doing with your flyers?
I'm keeping them, and then I'm not quite sure. I have them sort of just on my phone. I don't know what to do. Eventually, I have to figure out what to do with them.
Right.
I'm the worst when it comes to social media. I'm really bad at it. Not that I'm bad at it, I just don't have time.
Yeah, it's time consuming.
Yeah, it is. And also I want things to look really nice and pretty, and I'm kind of a perfectionist, so it takes me longer to do certain things so that I never get around to them because I know I'm going to take forever. But I know that's not even the style nowadays. It's just like, it's as natural as you can put it and just put it out there. Like, kind of like in the moment sort of thing. But I take too long trying to curate stuff.
All right. Trying to make it perfect.
Yeah, I need to get out of that mindset.
Yeah, just throw it out there, shit, you know. I'm on social media all the time, you know, and I mean, at first I hated it, but now it's like, okay, it's a good way to network, good way to get yourself out there, so why not embrace it, you know? Yeah,
like right now you said, oh, do your socials and go live, and I'm not. Well, you're live, but I'm not. I didn't put any of my stuff.
Well, I barely
socials.
got mine. Ain't nobody even on it. So, you know, it's like, what the hell? But this is a new page, though, because I got a new phone, so maybe that's why.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But, yeah, so that's cool. That's dope. I got a new thing that I'm doing here. Okay. It's called Getting to Know You.
Okay.
And I wrote it down, and it's something I did for the first time on, who was it? Who we have here last time? Shadow. Shout out to Shadow Promotions, by the way, and on Real Videos. And, yeah. Oh yeah. Buddy Remy, and then I did this with him, so I'm gonna do it with you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, answer as you will. Hot or cold?
Hot.
Okay, black or white?
Black.
Screen or stage?
Ooh, stage.
Car or bike?
Car.
Plane or train?
Train.
Hip hop or R&B?
Hip hop.
All right, gold or silver?
Silver.
All right, natural or artificial?
Natural.
Left or right?
Left.
All right, and on a guy, boxers or briefs?
Briefs.
And hustle or chill?
Ooh. Hustle.
All right, see? There we go. Now, see, everybody knows what your preferences are on those. I'm going to do some more of them, though. Probably like 10 or 12 more, and then keep people here longer than they want to be.
Sure.
But, you know, it's good.
Yeah, I'm down. That's good.
Who is give me an idea of some people who you may like to work with in the future, who you haven't worked with yet?
Could
be anybody.
That I haven't worked with yet locally? Or
it could be anybody, yeah.
Anybody. You know what? It would be really neat if I could work with Ali Wong.
Oh, Ali Wong. Okay, yeah, she's
really
dope.
Good. She's incredibly intelligent and smart. Her very hilarious.
Right.
Very, very hilarious. I'd love to be able to work with her. That'd be fun. Bill Burr is another person I'd love to be able to work with.
Bill Burr, all right, that's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Yeah, I like him. I think his comedy is also very smart, and not a lot of women like him because they find him maybe he's a little crass. But I think he's funny. I think he's very real in some of his perspectives.
He has his own lane.
Yeah, he does. He really does. He really does.
Yeah, he has his own way.
Yeah, he does. And then let's see, who else would I like to work with? The other person that would be really neat to be able to work with. Wouldn't it be so neat to just be able to work with Chappelle?
Oh right? Man, work with Dave Chappelle would be like a dream, man. That would be fun. I mean, that's not work, you know. When you're Dave, that's smoking cigarettes and laughing at people. That's what that is.
Yeah, even just a chat. I don't even know. It would be so neat to sit down and just pick his brain.
You know? I mean, come on, man. That's Dave Chappelle. I mean, you could sit down and talk to him forever.
Yeah.
Forever, man.
Yeah. That guy seems really very just thorough in his thinking. It would be so neat to just
and he seems like he's down to earth.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Don't quote me, because some people, they seem like they're down to earth.
Right.
And they switch up on you.
Yeah.
They switch up.
They do.
It's wild. It's wild. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is hyperadio.com. This is LOL Fridays. And we do this every Friday. I am Defunct the Legend. I bring on one of my favorite, most hustling, most funny, most influential and dynamic comics of this area and areas beyond. If you are a comedian, right, and you're out there and you're watching and you're listening and you want to come on the show, I will welcome you to come on the show. Just hit me on my socials, get me in the DM, and then we'll be good to go. It's Defunct the Legend on everything, and I'll consider you to come on the show so you can come and do an interview and talk to me. Lourdes, Ayon. Man, I tell you, I just can't get enough of watching your stand-up.
Thank you.
Because you talk about your family and you let people in, which is something that a lot of people don't do.
Yes.
They don't do that when they're up there. They could make up shit and don't let people know who the real deal is.
Yeah. The majority, not majority, I wouldn't say like 99% of my comedy, everything is real.
Yep.
People will ask me, oh, did that really happen? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
really
I bet you get that all the time.
I do. I have a really interesting life, but just normal, right? It's like a normal life, but even in a normal life, strange things pop up, and I find those just hilarious.
Right.
Wow.
Right. Observations.
Yeah.
How about give me one of your favorite places to perform so far where you've done your thing at?
My favorite place to perform, I really enjoy performing. Right now, the smaller stages are really fun. Like Stab is a really fun stage. It's very, very small, but I like it. You know why?
But you're not a fat guy, though. See, it's hard to it's hard to perform on them small stages, man. I get in the Stab, I'm like, man, where is the AC at? God damn it, it's cold and small in here, hot and small in here. Stab is cool, but woo, man, shout out to Stab and everything they're doing, but man, y'all need some more chairs.
Yeah, it can get hot or really cold depending on the weather outside.
It's cozy in that motherfucker.
But part of the reason that I like it is because people are so close, and I can really feel their energy.
Right.
I could be fed on stage with people's energy, which is a good thing and a bad thing, right? Because if people are kind of like ho hum, then I might be ho hum. But bigger stages that I like performing, I really like performing at Laughs Unlimited.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Laughs.
That's a great stage.
Yeah, it is.
I love Laughs. I really do.
That was my first working gig at Laughs Unlimited. It was dope.
Yeah.
It was good, but the stage was in the corner, though. It was different.
Oh, yeah.
It was different. My boy Rick Polito, shout out to Rick Polito. He's the one that designed it before it turned into what it is now. But anyway, okay, so Laughs Unlimited, that's dope.
Yeah, I like Laughs. And of course, Punchline, that's another good stage to have.
Oh, yeah, Punchline's a staple, man. You got to perform there.
Yeah.
Are you going to do Marcus Mangum's next mic there?
He hasn't invited me yet, but I will hit him up.
Yeah, you should definitely do that because it's dope. It's a good mic. Good mic. And they have a bucket system, too, so, even if you don't get an invite, come on in anyway.
Oh, the open mic. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did one a long time ago, like when he first started, and I just haven't been able to be back.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I want to thank you for coming today.
I
want to thank you for being such a great guest. Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you would like to, maybe give a shout out or, say something about? How about shows? What you got coming up?
Oh, goodness. I have shows coming up. But next, right from here, I'm going over to the sesh.
The
the sesh. We're gonna do a Shark Tank presentation.
Okay.
And then I have a show coming up in San Diego. I have shows coming up, and I don't have it in front of me, but
San Diego, the mic drop?
Mic drop,
mic drop's dope.
Yeah, I'm
I
excited.
love mic drop.
I have a couple of shows there as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have them all on the top of my head because I have a handful of them coming up. But if you know what I'm really bad at, and maybe your folks here can help me, is I'm really bad of giving out my Instagram at the end and being like, hey, follow Lulu Ayon Comedy at Instagram.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I'm 15 followers away from being at 1,000 people.
Oh shit! Hey, all right.
Which is like, you know, we're all climbing the stairs
Hell
of
yeah.
social media followers. So we'll make a shout out to myself and say, follow Lulu Ayon Comedy on Instagram.
Yeah.
That would be really fun. And then final shout out to the entire Sacramento comedy scene, and Laughs Unlimited and Punchline and Comedy Spot and Stab, and to folks like you that create these spaces and opportunities for people to come out and feel good about themselves.
Right.
And, you know, get a chance to talk about what we're doing on stage. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah, because we do have a pretty dope scene here, man.
We do,
I mean,
we do.
After the pandemic, it got better. But before the pandemic, I don't know about that. You know, I don't know what the hell that was all about. But after, it was dope, and it is dope. So
it's a great scene. I've been in a lot of different scenes: LA, San Diego, San Francisco, Oregon, and I have to tell you, this one is on steroids. It's
nice.
It's a great scene. And it feels like a community to me, and I really enjoy it. The folks here and all the comedians, shout out to everybody working really hard to be seen.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I want to thank you again for coming. Make sure you click like and subscribe on this YouTube channel. Like I said, if you are a comedian or aspiring, or you've been doing it 30 years, holla at me, G-Funk the Legend, on Instagram, and hit me in my DM, and we'll see what we can do for you. Until then, man, we out of here, man. That was great. That was beautiful. Yeah.